Hello, good morning, and welcome to Mods for Modders Most Modern Shenanigans. You got me and Elder Bro. John's away, and both Johns are away, obviously. Mr. Mayfield is toddled off to see somebody, and Mr. Marley is on his way home from Melbourne after going to the mod shop there. Sent me some great pics of a sub. Oh. Yeah, they're brilliant. I'll be using those little tinkers as references for this. It's looking brilliant. So, let's go round everybody.
Yeah, let's.
How you doing, bud?
I'm good. I had an interesting start to the day. I got up an hour earlier than I thought it was.
Ooh.
So I did everything and found out I started an hour before breakfast. I went, oh. Yeah. So I ended up packing up a few more bits of stuff. Mod-wise, I've not done a lot since yesterday because after the show on Sunday, I was continuing to wash down the bungalow. And I've got more of that to do this afternoon. But what I have done is cut a piece of 5mm pipe and removed the axles on the running gear on the right hand side for that to go on.
Oh, nice.
To become whatever powers, whatever is a hover tank. I've cut away the bent front of the track guard turnovers on them two pieces. What I need is an end to the pipe. I've been looking at things like caps off bottles.
They're nice.
Yeah, that'd be quite good because they fit inside, and if I can put in styrene spacers, they'll look the part. But I don't want to be taking them bottle caps off these one coat with bottles.
Yeah.
Similar on the AK stuff, but again, I don't want to be taking caps off perfectly usable paint. So I don't know. I might have to buy in 4 colours that I don't want, or might never want. Like,
have you got any Tamiya pots or Mr. Hobby pots or anything like that
yes.
you can put them into an old one, so you don't have to go and buy it, and then soak the label off and restick the label over the Tamiya?
Possibly. Well, I've got I have got some. I've got some empty MRP bowls, but they're
Ooh.
not. They're not quite the same. They don't have the same shape. That shape just works
Yeah,
in
it
there.
does.
Because they fit just inside. So yeah, I'll find something. I've also received last night 50 small rectangular neodymium magnets,
Oh yeah.
rare earth magnets. Whether there's at first the idea was to place them along the tube, but the tube's going to be sort of, I don't know, a few mil or above where the running gear lumpy bits are. So I might put the magnets on just on the hull or on the running gear bits, but we'll see.
Yeah.
In between the running gear bits, maybe, I don't know. That's much the same. Or I might just cut those off. Not easy cutting bits off when you've got bits that you've added that are breaking because you're forcing on them. But I've been using me Japanese razor saw.
Oh, very nice.
It's really good. It's
They are.
yeah. Have you got one?
I've got several. Yeah.
Really thin. Yeah, and they cut really well.
Yeah, they
and
do.
pretty accurately, even though they're like a tenon saw. They've got a stiff back stiffener job, so that's good. But that's really all I've done, cutting bits off. Got the magnets. Rather than try and cut into this pipe to make like louvers or something all the way along it, I'm going to use my plotter and cut a piece of vinyl that gives me shapes.
Oh yeah.
Cut lots of like space louvers all the way along it.
Oh yeah, I know.
Yeah. But we'll see. And when that's painted, it'll just have that detail on. Hopefully. I do cut stuff for hypersonic models in vinyl, which is like for a Phantom bracing, extra bracing that was fitted for a Phantom. I can't remember. I don't know which one. So that with all the rivet detail on it and everything. So it does work. Yeah, that's really all I've been doing. No movement on the Lysander nor the IR-81C. I've added. Oh, what I have done is, remember on Sunday, I mentioned that. If you can see it, that pipe work there needed to be underneath this. Well, it's now underneath it.
Cool.
But that looks just a tad better ish. So yeah, I mean, I'm gonna just carry on with all cutting bits off and maybe get the guns on this, and then I'm gonna. The plan for the guns are going to turn the barrels into like a crane type job. So I'm gonna plasticard around both barrels, and then the end of the barrels I've got sliding tube. But I'm undecided what to stick on the end. I was thinking the other day, maybe rather than a grab or anything like that, maybe just a basket, a cage type of thing that the packets of hobnobs could run into.
Yeah.
And straight as soon as I thought of that, I thought, well, I could the diorama a little bit, because it's going to be on the base, obviously, because the magnet hovering. I could do little packets of hobnobs running to the bus. Oh, you don't want to be in this head.
My
Yeah,
God.
so it'd be just to make it funny, isn't it? So the whole point of this massive tank. But there's a reason why it was this was used. I've got all that down in my head, so it all makes perfect sense. Honest gov. But yeah, that's me. What about you, Steph?
Well, the only person it's got to make sense to is you. It doesn't
Well,
what
no,
other
if
people
it makes,
think.
yeah, I agree with you. But if it makes sense to, if I can make it make sense to others
Yeah.
watching, there'll be a write up with a diagram or a photograph of this pointing to the various elements of it. So if I can make others understand, then yeah, but yeah. Sometimes I wonder. But
It's all good fun, mate. That's the
it is.
whole about
That's
these.
that is the
Well,
absolute trouble with it. It's just too much fun, and it's easy to get carried away.
yeah.
Um,
And the thing
yeah,
is, I think my difficulty with stuff like that is knowing when to stop.
yeah. I've had to stop myself. I was like these two nothing pieces here
Yeah.
could easily become a couple of cranes.
Yeah.
I say easily become a couple of cranes. It's a location. I think the vents or something. But I just thought, oh yeah, a couple of cranes there at the back. There's the big turret. No, fucking stop. Use my language. Stop it. It's like I'm not gonna add the tools that are here.
No.
I need something like I've got this bit, but I thought if I stick anything like that on the back, it looks like the reverse in a way of the Bentley that had the I think it was the front part of the gearbox showing in front of the radiator,
Mm.
and I thought, nah, that just wouldn't, or would it? No, stop it. I don't know.
That's the thing. You just got to look at it and go, right, that's as far as I'm going to go. I'm not going any further than that.
Yeah,
That's
just
it.
yeah, just that I don't feel that tools would be on show.
Yeah.
They are on armored vehicles because there's no room inside. But as an international rescue vehicle, it doesn't need Pioneer type tools hanging around.
No.
But on here there are tools, so I might just blank it off, put some louver type things on something like that. It's a good idea, isn't it? More
Yeah. Why
louvers.
not?
Louvers. Yeah, exactly what it needs is louvers.
Yep.
I've got to come up with a name for the engine, a type of engine, and the method of hovering. Because it's not like hovercraft hover. Clearly, it'd have to
Yeah.
be something more.
Plasma hovering.
Plasma, yeah.
It's just
The car that gave me the idea of turning it into a hover one, the Stefano Marchetti Ferrari 330 hover car, used a I can't remember. Same engine as similar engine to M1 Abrams.
all right.
That type of thing, but so it could be something like that. But yeah, anything. A made up name though would sound more oddly more plausible. I think
Yeah,
maybe maybe
they
not.
they do tend to sound a lot better when
Yeah,
you
yeah. It's like
make them up.
yeah, the stuff the science fiction stuff they come up with for drives and stuff. It sounds plausible. I suppose. What's plausible? Yeah. So, but I feel I've got I've got to get it done sort of before we move. If we're moving soon, I feel
No? When's the estate agent coming round?
Wednesday and Thursday.
All right. Are you available Wednesday?
Depends what time. I can't remember what time he's coming round. I've not mentioned it. That I'm not. So I think it's in the afternoon.
Okay. Cool.
So I think that's why I've not mentioned not being available because that's happening after. So I'll let you. I'll let you know. I'll double check and let you know.
Brilliant.
But so I think the missus is on 10 to hooks to find out that the bungalow's worth something like what we think it might be worth. But yeah.
Yeah. With you moving north, you'll get more bang for your buck as well.
Oh yeah, well definitely places we've been looking at. We go bloody hell. But we have to again. You have to be practical. I'm getting older, although I'm fit enough. A house, I can happily go up and down stairs, but how long will that last?
Yeah.
But saw a perfect house yesterday, which if it's still on the market, we're gonna have a look at. But you know, will the head rule the heart, or will the heart rule the head?
Yeah.
As long as it's got room for. Basically, what I want for me is no hedges, no no painting of the house or bungalow. I don't want to be painting the freaking thing. Don't want to be cutting edges. I want a man cave or a room that where I can have space for doing this separately. As I've got now, a space for photography and painting.
Yep.
And an area for modelling and maybe a bit of displaying. But I also want a space for displaying. I want to build proper display units. So I don't want much.
No, you don't.
But I mean, I've been without. I mean, this setup's fine. I've got, but I've turned my PC desk into my blogging streaming place, and it's too cluttered. It's too small.
Yeah.
So if I can have a bit of a room, not as big as that I've got for spraying and photography and stuff, I can have a separate room just so it's all nice and clean. Nothing distracting in the background. Maybe just some box top art.
Yeah.
It'd be cool. That's why I'm cutting out all this out for that sort of thing. But it'd be nice just to be able to go in a place, close the door, with really good internet, good lighting, mic, and proper stuff. I'm going to carry on doing it. do it properly,
Yeah.
and then can maybe lead on to, sessions and I don't know, all sorts of stuff.
Yeah.
But that's another reason to move, is to either join a session or start a session, and to get to model shows. A, with my club, and B, with A, with Models for Heroes, and B, with my clubs, or with the both. So that's something I really miss.
Yeah, I bet.
Right, Steph, what are you doing?
Right. Right. Thanks very much for joining us, folks. I've got to go now. Right, me. I am building that one, Monty's Humber.
Oh, right.
I'm gonna. It's a soft top, but you get it with a hood up. But it's all. Come on, if it'll kick in. There you go. It's textured, so what I've got to do is just coat it in thin vinyl. Sorry, styrene, and then cut out a bigger window out the back there. Because I'm doing it to go with a bit from one of my favourite books, the book series, which is something called Charlie Bassett. The first book is called Tuesday's War, and he's a wireless operator on a Lancaster flying out of Bourne near Cambridge.
Right.
And when I first read the book, I lived in Bedford, and quite a bit of it happened in Bedford. And I got to know the author, David Fiddimore. Really, really nice guy. And he wrote 7 books in the series, and they're brilliant. He gets to literally bump into famous people from the wartime.
Right.
So people like Glenn Miller. What was the movie actor that flew B-17s?
Oh, yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah, I can't think.
Yeah,
But I know
he meets him. There's just all sorts of famous people he meets, and it's actually a scream. I meet Salvador Dali.
Oh, right.
Also, the female photographer from World War II. They've just recently done a film about her.
Yeah.
He meets her. He also meets Glenn Miller's alleged mistress, who works in Bedford. Oh, it's just really, really good. And the main character is somebody called Grace, and she's an ATA pilot.
Right.
And there's a scene in the second book where they have what they call the elephant bed. So the elephant's already built, and I'm just building the Humber now. So I'm going to recreate the scene in a diorama. So
You're right.
I'm building
the elephant bet.
Yes. If you want to find out what the elephant bet is, read the book.
What's the book called again?
The first book in the series is called Tuesday's War. That's the first book. The scene I'm doing is in the second book, which I think is Charlie's War.
Okay.
So it's well worth going and looking over. The reason I'm not doing anything with the sub is because I cleaned up all the panel lining this morning, knocked a load of bloody handles off, so that's drying out and they're drying off.
Oh, right.
So I'm just going to leave that. With this, I've got there's this top part of it. So yeah, it's slowly coming together. There's only a couple of hours work on it so far, but it's a fun little build. There's loads and loads of flash on it.
Yeah.
But it's
What
probably
kit is it again?
It's FX 132nd Monty's Humber,
Oh, right.
and it's probably from 1914.
Well, the kit itself, you mean?
Yeah, it's an old kit.
Yeah.
So lots of flash to clean up. But they've redone it in different plastic, and it is quite a nice plastic they've done it in. So yeah, it's nice. I'm enjoying it. It's a fun build.
Yeah, cool.
So that is what I is diddling with.
It's a good idea. A scene from a book.
Mm.
I plan many moons. I did say I'm going to build, because I've got a few 1/72 scale kits, because mainly from Lidl.
Yeah.
And I decided that when I do 1/72 scale kits, if you remember, I was going to do them wheels up.
Yeah.
Just because that's another option. But I don't really want to do that with 48 scale kits because it's being bigger and all the rest of it. So 1/72 scale lends itself to what I had in mind. And one of the scenes I want to do is from a book.
Mm-hmm.
The book's Geoffrey Wellham,
Oh yeah.
First Light, and he describes when he got bounced after down in a ankle 111. He got bounced and ended up in got hit. Luckily, didn't blow him apart. And he ends up in a turning fight with the Messerschmitt. And in that, it describes how the Spitfire's got a better turning circle and why. Because they're both pretty much the same, other than the Messerschmitt. The Spitfire in a hard turn, like all aircraft, you pull it too hard, it'll stall.
Yeah.
Spitfire, when it stalls, it starts to vibrate, or when at the beginning of the stall, it starts to vibrate. So he says you can hold it on that, just as it's starting to vibrate, you get that and just ease off slightly. But the Messerschmitt, as it pulls hard and starts to stall, it drops its wing. So it just drops. And he says I could watch, because he'd run out of ammunition. So even though he could catch the Messerschmitt up, all he was really doing was keeping out of its way. He says, but I was catching it up. So I don't know how many turns. I can't remember the number of turns, but he was catching it up. So he planned on is like the next turn when I'm heading north, I'll just dive, because I don't know if you know, or you probably do know, that because the Mercedes engine had fuel injection,
Supercharged,
it could just dive, whereas a Spitfire, being normally aspirated, if it just dove, the carburetor, the engine cut out for a couple of seconds. So diving away was fraught, but because he was ahead of the Messerschmitt, he waited, and he was heading north. He waited for the Messerschmitt to drop a wing and then just went and got away.
Yeah.
And that's what I want to. It's quite a simple thing, just a Messerschmitt and a Spitfire in a turning fight. But if I can work out the turning circle, pretty much the same for both. I sort of plan on doing that in scale.
Yeah.
So you'll have a length, pretty much a length of wood, timber, a Spitfire on one end, banked over. Measure bit going the sort of same like clockwise, banked over on the other end of the wood. So it'd be on the table for it could be a metre long.
Nice. I like the sound of that.
Yeah, I thought when I first thought about it, you're talking maybe a foot. I thought, no, that's not to scale. It's fucking ridiculous. Now I'm thinking of it. It could be as far as a metre.
Yeah.
I'll have to. It could. Yeah, I mean anything, but because it's so big, sort of far apart, it draws the eye to it because you'd see the Messerschmitt and you see this, then see the Spitfire or vice versa, wherever way you're walking towards the table, and it sort of needs questions asking, doesn't it?
Yeah. Just quickly, Gordon's in. Morning, Gordon. He says, morning, Stephen Mel.
Morning, Gordon.
Hope you're well. How you doing? What I'll do, Gordon, is I'll find a way of getting you that magazine because he's building Border Models 135th Stuka.
JU87.
Yeah, the D, I believe. And I've got
D, isn't it? D, isn't it?
Yeah, that's what I said, wasn't it?
I thought you said E. I thought, sorry,
No,
my hearing.
Sorry?
D. I thought you said E, but
No,
that's my
D.
hearing. Yeah, D.
So yeah, I'll try and get the book up to him. Because I've got an absolute shed load of books. You've got access to it, haven't you?
To what?
I've got books of the Yin Yang, all in PDF.
Have I got access to it?
I believe I have. I'll send you the access again. You name it, it's in there. There's so many books.
Oh, right.
So
I probably have. You probably have sent it me then, but I don't.
Yeah. Gordon said he's peed off with it. Major mistakes on a brass part. I've had to drill and cheers. Yep. These things come to tries, and tries they do. But if you need any advice, just give me a shout or give Mel a shout. Give Mel a shout, sorry. And just send us some pictures and let us know what's up and what you need doing.
Yeah, brass etch stuff I tend not to like anymore.
I quite enjoy PE.
I'll use it, but it has to be really necessary. If I don't feel it's necessary or doesn't offer anything, I won't bother.
Yeah.
A lot, because I found a lot of sets to make up value. You know, because they'll be charged at the sort of the price per fret, complete fret. So you might get 24 frets of the piece in one complete, when it's actually done, and then it's so much per sold fret, if that makes any sense.
Yeah.
So to make up the value, they add pieces that are pretty much useless or not worth the effort.
Yeah.
But if brass comes in a kit, the kit you're building has actually got brass in it. Well, that's cool.
Yeah.
That's often worth using. Sometimes you get just like faces of, I don't know, radios and stuff, and actually the plastic parts have got better defined detail. So,
he said it's a problem on their side. They didn't drill correct holes. I put it on the MFH page.
right.
Sorted it though now. Cool. He says,
Was that they didn't? When you say drill, you mean is that in the etch or in the plastic or? That's always a problem when the manufacturer's got it wrong, and you've got to work out whether it's you or them. But Gordon, it's called modelling, mate. Why it's relaxing.
etch and plastic, he says.
Yeah. So, but if you can sort it, kudos. That's all good.
Oh yes.
Gordon, did you get the colours sorted? Because I think you mentioned that it's not clear on what colours. Is that the interior? Mind you, I guess it's too late now, even because the speed that you build, can't keep up.
Right, I've managed to work out that this is a Humber Hawk.
Humber Hawk. Oh, never heard of that.
No, neither have I.
German grey interior. Yeah. But is that RLM 66?
Yeah, that's what that'll be.
Yeah.
It's an E, so it's a late version, isn't it?
Yeah. Stuka's a bit of an odd one because bombers were always, from the get-go, were always 66. But I think Stuka started out with RLM 02 internal paint. Could be wrong there, but definitely later they were 66. That's something to Gordon, to get round your head around, is the designation of the paints. The reason I say that, it just makes it easier to ask about colours, or be told about, when you ask a question about colours, the easiest way of telling you what the colour is by the proper designation. And then you find that within the paint range that you prefer. That makes sense. Well, that's it. No wheels on this thing.
Ooh, mate. It's horrible when you do that, isn't it?
I can't tell you how long I sat thinking, do I do this? Do I not? And then and I knew I was going to do it. It was just a case of, right, sod it, I'm doing it. Just get on with it. And of course, as soon as I cut off one, that was it. There's no going back.
No.
Well, it was. I could have glued it back on, but essentially not. But it's worth it not to have to put tracks on it.
Yeah, you and tracks.
Yeah, it's come back about Tamiya colours.
Oh. Yeah, I've been looking at different paints other than Tamiya's colours. And he says, hats off to you, Mal. The idea is brill.
Yeah, thanks. Yeah, you look for paints that you're comfortable with. It's like me, I cannot use acrylics as much as I might like to or want to. Part of the reason is like AK or ammo, that to me the colours are not quite right. Although others swear by them, which is cool. Either way, but I prefer cellulose paints. They're just so much easier to use and work with. Like I don't particularly like decals anymore because of all the masking that I've done. I still do it and still can do it, and have to do it if I want the stencil markings. But with the paints I use, I can decide whether I want to gloss coat it or not, because the finish is nice and smooth. If there's a minimum decals, I don't bother gloss coating it, just because I can sort of manipulate the decals to conform reasonably easily, and it's just a few. It doesn't really matter. But yeah, I came to those paints partly because of people I knew when they were first introduced into this country, and got given a load of them.
Which ones was that?
MRP.
Oh, yeah. While you're chatting about paint, shall I go and get my hobnob jobber?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, but paints, find the ones you like, mate. Oh, Tamiya are good. The thing with Tamiya paints, airbrushing, is to use leveling thinner. Mr. Hobby leveling thinner. It does make quite a difference. Depending on the paints, I'm never sure exactly which type of paint, because Tamiya do I think 3 types: enamel. I don't have to do enamel, but acrylic and acrylics based on something other. Don't ask me what, I don't know. But the Tamiya paints that I've got, I can thin with Mr. Hobby leveling thinner,
Yep,
and it makes a difference.
it does, doesn't it?
Yeah. So if you're struggling a little bit with Tamiya, that'll be the thing to try. But it's I think the type of paints. If you want to go acrylic, get good at spraying acrylic. I mean, if I wanted to, I would spend the time and get good enough to spray acrylics. Just to me, they just dry on the tip dry too much. Although I have successfully used them, I don't like them. But yeah, finding the paint that you like yourself, then it doesn't matter what anybody else says. Because if you ask questions about paint, rather than getting the answer you're after, i.e. the colour, you'll get told, "Oh, I would use such and such a paint."
Yeah.
Which is not what you're looking for.
Here you go, Gordon. Here's my steampunk McVitie's hobnob hunter.
Brilliant.
The leg's a bit wonky at the front. So, there you go. Oh, come on, that's it.
Cool.
So that's a Model T Ford extended and done, and stupid things done to it. Steam powered at the front, hydraulic parts, run the legs. You got the Model T Ford engine at the back. There you go. Super detailed, which runs all the electricity and everything else. And then inside here, you've got a seat, and you've got a dashboard that will help you find the hobnobs, and then you've got radar towers that go hunting for them. So that's what, and you got a couple of homemade ladders. You get the idea. But yeah, that's mine. Brill, he says, thank you. Is that from scratch as well? A lot of it is scratch built. The engine at the front is all scratch built. The funnels are actually cotton bobbins. The legs are off a sort of Gundam type thing. This and the whole of the chassis is two ICM Model T Ford gasoline trucks. Within the kit, you get two chassis. So I've cut and shut them, and I've used the engine and detailed it up and done all sorts of silly shit to it. So yeah, that's what I is doing. But I've had to put it on hold because I've got to get the sub done.
Not far off finishing it, though, are you?
Oh no, it's taken a couple of weeks to finish off, and it's the base. Plus, there's a slight change to it. Nothing serious, nothing much. I do have an addition, so it will tie in with yours actually. This is crazy, love it, and that's amazing, mate. Thank you very much. It's just letting your mind run riot. Just let your imagination go, and just do stupid shit. yeah, I bought a load of stuff. I've also, so give me a sec. So what I've done now, playing with yours, you've seen this.
Wow.
So this will be an early version of how they used to rescue them and find them, and you've got the modern version. So a history of
Yeah.
puppet hunting,
What
and
scale
also
is that?
1/72 scale,
Right.
but it sits nicely with 1/24.
Yeah. Well, the Thunderbird 2 I've got is 1/350th, and it's
Cool.
quite big. I can't imagine wanting it being 1/72nd.
Oh, good lord, huge.
I'd love to
And
have a
also,
model of it in 1/72nd.
yeah, when I was at Cannons for my birthday, Lisa took me down there and treated me. I got my 1/72nd Millennium Falcon. But
Oh.
what I also got for this is Edward's Graf Zeppelin antenna and island kit in PE.
Wow.
So the stuff on there you can use for antennas and stuff is just mad.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'll be using those to make antennas and all stuff like that. So
Cool. So, Gordon, I know you're into this Junkers 87, but you build so quick. What's your next project going to be? That's the sort of question you can't ask me because I ain't got a clue.
because he doesn't build that quick. Let's come off that.
I've proved to myself that I can when I did the 48 and 48 and got a
Yeah,
basically aircraft built. But
you
yeah,
can do
so
it.
but can do it. But I came to the conclusion that I don't want to. Well, I do, and I don't when I move. There's just so many I want to get done.
Mm.
So I'm going to have to concentrate on one at a time to get more done.
Yeah.
I
I find. Sorry, go.
I'm beginning to feel that my age is really against me now. I mean, although my idea is to buy more models so I'll live longer. So that because I have to live longer to be able to build them. I'm not so sure that will work. So you never know, though. When I'm 300 years old, then we might have an idea.
Yeah, he says, I've got a few ideas. I fancy a Typhoon 148, F-35 148, and a Lancaster 148.
Oh, cool.
He's not going for small kits, is he?
No. So that'll be a Border Models Lancaster.
There's other companies that do 148. I thought the Border Models is 1/32, isn't it?
Yeah, but you won't be building. Yeah, well, that's like 650 quid.
Yeah.
But there are only two, I believe, 48th Lancasters. That's the Hong Kong models and the Tamiya one. And the Tamiya one is ancient. So for me, it'd be the Hong Kong
8K.
ones. Yeah. Typhoon 48. I'm trying to think. I know the ones I built in 48 were, I think, Asagawa. But I'm not sure if Airfix have brought out a Typhoon in 48. I'm a feeling they must have done. Yeah.
He says not border, lol.
Well, if you do a Typhoon and it's the Hasegawa one, give us a shout before you start it. Because there's something you'd need to know about fuselage.
Yeah, he'll tell you not to buy it after you've bought it, just to wind you up.
No. It's worth buying. It's a nice kit. Just that they've got inset fuselage halves for the separate bubble top and car door, and they don't quite match up. So if you build it as per the instructions, you'll have a step around where it fits. So you have to fit them to the fuselage halves first, so that you end up with a gap
rather than the
step.
step.
Yeah, it's a lot easier to sort out the gap than it is the step. But it's all right. It's just unfortunate.
Yeah, it's like go.
The only issue is that on the bubble top, because you've got the gap, it's the canopy rail, the central canopy rail, is like 15 foot apart. Not a problem. You just cut it off both sides, and when you filled, and you use plastic to fill the gap, because the gap's about 2 mil. So you can imagine what the step would be like.
Oh God, yeah. It's like the Rebel Tornado.
Yeah. So maybe not 2 mil, maybe 1.5 mil, but it would still be a massive gap step. The gap is not too onerous, but say you've got the two halves of the canopy rail, which are on either side of the thing, so it just separates them by 1.5 mil. So you basically cut them off, fill the gap with plasticard and filler, and then you can just scratch build your own canopy rail and stick that on quite easily, which is, I think, what I did. But I have got an article on that on Aeroscale.
All right, cool.
Yeah, because I did it, and I did one on another part to that, painting the rockets, the fill bands on the rockets. Silence.
Get you.
Yeah, you know that what I mean. They're like the red and white fill bands on the nose tip of the rockets.
Oh, the explosive designation.
Yeah. Was it on the 60-pound rocket heads? They've got the light green fill band, which is what British Ordnance has or had.
What are we talking about?
The rockets on the Typhoon.
On the Typhoon, pale green. Yeah. No,
the
high explosive is yellow. Low explosive is brown.
Well, the fill band on the fill band on the rockets warheads was light green.
Oh, I think that's a laser designator. The laser designates as a laser.
You're talking modern weapons, aren't you?
Yeah. Oh, you're talking about the Typhoon from World War II?
Yeah, I thought that's
right, okay. I thought I think he's talking about the modern Typhoon.
Oh, it might be. Yeah, Typhoon 40 F-35. Yeah, it could be. Yeah. So forget everything I said, because none of it's relevant at all. It'll be interesting.
Yeah.
All right, Gordon. I'm an idiot.
Well, I've made an assumption there that it's a modern
No,
one.
yeah, no. It's just the way. Like now that it's the way I read it.
Yeah. Yeah, modern.
Don't apologise, Gordon. It's the way I read it. But anyway, some interest. If you do the World War II Typhoon, just remember what I said.
Yeah. Right, we can come back to this on Wednesday if you want to, Gordon. So we've cracked the hour. Let's have a look what Mal's got done.
I've cut off the running gear on to the side, and I've removed the ration box. Because a lot of this stuff is all just clipped on. That's going to be the ration box for the crew. And I didn't understand why there's a wooden box on an AFV, but in the kit you get little clear plastic bottles, obviously vodka. But I just thought I'd have it on and put ration details on, like but ration for the crew anyway. So yeah, I've cut all those off, and the bits between on the end. So the hover jobby goes on. Good to go. That's it.
Cool.
And waffled a lot about nothing.
That's what it's about.
No,
Waffle about fuck all.
Yeah.
I've got nothing done on there. The chassis is already done. I've got some bags on the inside done. Cleaned up the seam line there and there and there, but that's going to get covered in plastic card, so that doesn't matter. Lined up the bodywork so it actually fits, which can be an absolute nightmare on some of these. Luckily it's got locating plugs, which now don't fit. That one does. Why doesn't that one fit? Oh, good lord, you are joking me. What the hell's going on? There we go. Anyway, it does fit after a bit of finagling.
Cool.
I've made a radiator, back door, boot, back door, boot,
back door.
Yeah, and 4 wheels, which I'm in the process of just cleaning up. Those two I've cleaned up, and those two I've got to clean up. So that's what I've got done.
You've reminded me I've got to get on with my Aston Martin.
Gordon says, yeah, defo. And, well, I got my wings on, so now I will rear end later. Oh, dear.
Steady, lads.
Right, then. Thank you very much for watching, folks. You all take care. And we're back Wednesday. If you'd like to see your batty tie, Mel.
Batty tie.
Stay safe, keep modelling, and we will see you Wednesday from 12. Bye.
Bye.